my session, Microsoft Teams in Education. Before we start, a few words about me. My name is Marcin Siewnicki. I live in Warsaw, Poland. I am an Office of Microsoft 365 architect or consultant in ISCG. I'm also one of the team responsible for SharePoint Saturday Warsaw. And my focus is Office 365 Teams. That's why I'm talking here about Teams and SharePoint Online, modern workplace, and automation also. But let's go to our topic. Our short agenda. What is Microsoft Teams for Education? I will talk about the differences, why we should use it, why we should consider to use Teams for education purposes. Then I will talk and mainly show you the building blocks that we can use in Teams. And then I will show you how to prepare materials for class, how to communicate and create meetings with students. And at the end, I will talk about dedicated modules for assignments and grades. Okay, Teams in education. We currently, I'm sure that you know or hear about Teams. What's Teams? Because there's a battle between Teams and currently Zoom, not Slack, but Zoom. Well, it's a great tool for communication and collaboration, and we can use it for education purposes as well. But should I use my regular Teams for education, for classes for students? Yes, you can, but there's also a dedicated version, dedicated edition designed strictly for education purposes. This version has predefined templates for classes, for PLC, so professional communities, for staff, and for out of the education purposes like Teams project, after school talks, etc. So it's not the same as regular Teams as we can use currently on this meeting in example, but it's slightly different with a few additional features. And I will show you these features and is it worth or not. So start from building blocks. So as in regular Teams, we have Teams and channel. That's the main building blocks, and we'll use it everywhere. We have, of course, a place for files when you can upload files, collaborate, share files, etc. We have OneNote, of course, but in education version, this OneNote is slightly enhanced, so it has additional features. We have meetings, Teams meetings, like current meeting, a lot of features, very powerful. We have also two dedicated features not available in regular Teams, assignments and grades. Those two features are dedicated for education, to create assignments and to create grades tables. And we have also Stream as additional feature for classes. Well, Stream is very powerful, and I find it very useful in education. Okay, before I go to other slides, I will show you demo because it's the most important thing here. So I'm logged as a teacher. This is my, let's start from chat. This is my Teams website, the same as a desktop application. And it looks the same as regular Teams, but if I go to my Teams panel, it looks a little bit different. We have big squares here with icons, with big icons and class or Teams names. But the main difference is if I try to create a new team. So I start with four predefined templates. Class, PLC, so professional learning community, staff, and other. Other looks and works like a regular Teams team. So it has the same functionality, same features, nothing. There's no difference between the regular teams and this one. Class, PLC, and stuff, they are slightly different with additional features and predefined tabs. I will focus on class because it's the most powerful and mostly used feature here. PLC and stuff looks or works. They work, in fact, the same as class, but they have less features at start. So let's start from class. I can create a new class. Let's say algebra 3. So now in the regular teams, I can add my members or owners to my team, but for education, for my class, I can add students. So I remember it's Terry, Adele, and let's say 2 more students, to Alex for sure, and Delbert. Okay, I will start with my 4 students. And okay, our class is ready, but yeah, we start with the regular channel, so general channel. This is the main channel for each team, for each class. We have also a files section when we can work with files, but we have also 3 additional tabs: class notebook, assignments, and grades. And those 3 features those 3 tabs are predefined and strictly designed for education purposes. So start for posts, because it works like in my mouse is okay jumping. The same as in classic teams. So we have a board when we can chat, send them information, send them some info about our subject, our topic. In this case, about algebra. In files, we can upload files to work on those files with other students, because it works the same like on SharePoint. So we have a full collaboration features here. But there is one additional feature. We have a dedicated folder called class materials, and this folder is, if I go here, come on, yeah, it's read only for students. So automatically after when we create a new class, we will start with class materials folder, and that folder is only for teachers. Students can only go here and read. Nothing. They can't modify, change, delete files, or add new. Only teachers can do this, and it's great enhancements because we don't need to break permissions. Just start with predefined feature. But yes, and the third tab is class notebook. This is one of the most powerful feature, in my opinion, here, because it's OneNote, classic OneNote, with some additional features. So let's start, and we start with tab, but without any created notebook. So I can go and set up a blank notebook or create it from existing one. And well, before we create a notebook, we can decide who will be able to read, who will be able to modify our class notebook, because we have roles, teacher and student. I won't change anything here, but at the beginning of each notebook, we have those 3 spaces: collaboration, content, and student. I won't change any permissions here. And next one, we can specify sections in OneNote for each student. We start with handouts, class, notes, homework, and quizzes, but I can also add some, discussion and create. And what happening right now is teams will create this notebook, this OneNote, and it will assign required permission to this OneNote. Okay, it's ready. Yep. So as you can see, we started with welcome page, but it doesn't matter. Collaboration space. Collaboration space is a section when everyone, every student and every teacher can share their thoughts, ideas. So this is like a space for collaboration for entire class. Yeah, there's no restriction here. We have also content library space and section when students can read those materials, those pages, information, but only teachers can add new materials or modify existing. So it's mainly for teachers to work, but for students to read. And as you can see, there's also additional sections, one for each student. So Adele has one section, Alex, Delbert, and Terry. And inside those sections, here are the predefined sections for each student. So each student has the same pattern: homework, class notes, discussions, quizzes, etc. So we can define it before we create that one note, but it's consistent across all students. And what's also important here, that I, as a teacher, I can see all notebooks or sections for all of my students. But if I switch to my Terry account, this is Terry account, okay. She's a student, and I go here to this algebra 3 and to class notebook. Okay, it's loading. Okay, so I can see collaboration space, that's good. I can see content library, that's also good. And I can see only my own section in OneNote, so I can't see other students' sections, so I can't go there and read their homework, read their discussions, or modify. So it's a great feature to divide content and create a separate space for each student, so they are able to work on their own dedicated sections. Yeah. There's no need to create folders inside files, upload files for each student. No, we have a consistent one central place for notes, and because it's OneNote, we can upload here a lot of material, a lot of stuff, attachments, videos, embed videos, Excel files, create tables, even create draws using digital pen or using or tablets. That's a great feature. And as you can see, it's created automatically when I create a new class notebook. But what happens if, for some reason, I will add? Where is my algebra here? I need to add additional student. Okay, so I will go here and I will try to add some names. Terry is used. William, let's say William Hunt will be my additional student here. So I've just added a new student, and I want that this student will have also dedicated section in OneNote, because as you can see, there's nothing new here, but it automatically be added here within 1 or maybe 2 minutes. So if I go back here, maybe refresh the page, it should be visible, not yet. But this is the automatic process. I don't need to go here and manually add any or create something for new students. It's automatically, so it required also only some time, and will be ready, and the new students will be able to work with their own sections in OneNote. Okay, let's try one more time. Not yet, but we will check it later. So this is a great in my opinion, very super feature to use OneNote for entire class. But I, as a teacher, I have also additional section in this OneNote. It's called class notebook, and I can, well, distribute a page for each student. Let's say I would like to create a homework. Let's go to this content library, and I will create a new page. Basic. And let's say 2x plus 5y 54. Okay, so two equations, and I would like to send during the lesson or during some period, I would like to send this simple homework or test or something that I would like to send to my students automatically to each student. I don't want to, go to the post, to the board, the chat, and send them information that there's a new test, new homework, go there and there's link. No, I would like to send this specific page or pages or entire section to each of my students because I would like to do them currently. So I can go here and click distribute page or section. I can choose and distribute page, and it will load. Yep, and I can select when it will be distributed to which student section. Let's say to homework, and distribute. And it will take a while. I have only a few students, so it's not so huge list. And complete, done, good. So I will try to refresh it one more time to check if there's a new student. Not yet, okay. Yeah, so I sent them the basic algebra 1 homework. If I go to theory section and to homework section, yeah, there's a basic algebra page distributed directly to each student. So that's good. And I will show you how it works, how it looks like from theory perspective, from the student perspective. So I, as a student, go to my homework, to my algebra, and try to solve this. Yeah, so I can solve this. I can add some comments. Maybe it is hard for me. I need help. Yeah, whatever. I can add pictures, so work like in classic notes or notebooks. But for math, there's one additional feature in OneNote. It has some pros and cons, but we have a math feature, so I can go select these two equations, and OneNote can automatically solve this equation for me. So that's it can be helpful if I would like to check my my homework or something. But for the other hand, it's not good because if I as a teacher, I would like to send some homework, some math homework to my students, I don't want them to use automatic features to solve equations. That's not the point here. But we have also a where's my, this is theory. Yeah, but this is I, as a teacher, I can go here, select draw feature and math. I can turn math on or off. And if I would like to use this math feature, come on. Oh, yeah, let's say I will give them 15 minutes to solve. After that time, they will be able to check using this math feature. And apply, and it will be locked for students for 15 minutes. So that's a great feature if I want, only it works only on equations, but it could be helpful. But let's say Terry finished, or all of my students finished their homework. I would like to check what's the results, what they did. Okay, I can go to this homework section, and it's Alex. Yes, not homework. Okay, and check one by one, but that's not very efficient. But I can go here, class notebook, and there's a dedicated feature, review student work. So I can go, select, there's a homework, yeah. There's page inside, so I want to review my basic algebra. Okay, I can switch the first name, last name. And so I can review all of my students' homework, but I can also lock pages, so they won't be able to modify something or to change the homework. Okay, apply. And I can go. Yep. So I can easily lock the pages to modify something, and it won't be saved, yeah, because this page is locked. So I can check it in as a Terry, as a student. So I'm not able to modify anything. Okay, so that's the features dedicated for education in OneNote. Slightly different than classic OneNote, but in my opinion, very powerful, very useful, because I don't need to send something manually, modify it, gathering information. That's fully automatic. There's implemented roles and permissions here. Oh, and there's the new student appears, and it creates the new section for him automatically. So William has dedicated section for his own work. That's full automation. I don't need to do anything manually. So that's good. Okay, that's OneNote. So that's the this one very specific feature. Two others have also assignments and grades. Okay, assignments. Let's get started. So assignments is a place or dedicated app that I can use to assign homework or tests to my students, and it will automatically send those assignments to them and log after a specific time, etc. So I can go, and I have two options: assignment, so manually created form with tests, with documents, etc., or quiz. Quiz requires that I prepare some Microsoft form for this and attach this or select this other Microsoft form as a quiz for my students. I will show you the assignments because it's something different. So I can select some title. I can put some instruction here. I can select how many points each student can acquire for successfully solving this assignment. Let's say 15. And this is assigned to Algebra 3, but I can also go and assign it to multiple classes at once. So I don't need to create multiple assignments. I can use one and assign it to specific class or classes, or I can also select students. So if I want to select assignment for specific students, not for all, I can also do this. So there's a due date, so I can select how much time they have for this. So let's say for 10. And there's also settings that allow me to schedule this assignment, and so it could start from, let's say, Monday to yeah, to Wednesday, so 3 days. So I can create assignments at the beginning of period of school year and schedule them to entire year or entire period. And I will only need to monitor the effects, monitor the tests, so the assignments. I don't need to start anything manually. Okay, but I don't want, yeah, that's disabled. So that's here. I can add also some attachments if I need from my computer or from my OneDrive or team. Okay, let's say assign, that's all. I can see my current, yes, there's dedicated bot for this to communicate also, but this is my assignment. Good. But from student perspective, so each student has also his own assignment tab, but inside this tab, students are able only to see their own or assigned to them assignments. So I, as a Terry, I can see that there's basic algebra week 1. I can go here and add, solve this assignment, create some required materials for this, add my work here. So upload a file or files. Yep. And when it's ready, I can go here and turn into teacher. And some fancy animation here. And that's it. So I create, I have only a specific time period for this, so I must finish before deadline. If I want to do this, it won't be available for me after the deadline. So that's strict scheduler here. So, and go back to my teacher, and I as a teacher can go to my assignment, and it will load all of my assigned students. Yeah, so I have a full list of my students in this class, and yeah, Terry turned it in to me, so I can go here, add some maybe feedback. Good job. And assign points. So reviewed her work. So if she attached something, I consider and assign some points. Let's say 5, and that's it. Close. So, and this assignment is gone here. It's graded, so I don't need to bother it anymore. If I go, yeah, so that's here. There's also a student view, so how it is visible for students. So I can check it before sending them. So I can review each assignment for each student, grade or not grade if it's not required. And then if I go to grade section, that's the second additional, the feature correlated with assignments. It will load in a moment. Yeah. So I have a simple table with students and assignments. If I have multiple assignments, there will be multiple columns for this. So I can see basic algebra week 1 and 45 points. Good. So in a bigger example, I will show you my here. This is the biggest, I think. Also in big class, it could look like this. So a lot of students, a lot of assignments. Some of them have some points, so grades, points assigned to the assignments, others not. But so this is some kind of electronic table for my students with grades and results of the how they work. Okay, go back to my algebra 3. Good. So this is those two features, assignments and grades. They are dedicated and available only for this education edition. Assignments are also assignments. Assignment app is also visible or available in the left-hand menu. So you can go here. We don't need to go to a specific class or find that class and check the assignments. I can go strictly to the assignments position in menu and select class that I want to check. Let's say this Algebra 3. And here I can see my all assignments in class, in that specific class. If I go back, let's say algebra, this one, this assignment only for this specific class. So you can use it to create assignments, and the most I think that the most important feature here is that I can automatically schedule the assignments, the start date, end date, and automatically send it to students, and they will send it back to me. So it's a fully automatic process. Okay, so we have a class notebook, assignments, and grades. Those two are correlated. I won't show you the quiz because it's classic Microsoft Forms, so it's simple quiz that you can select the answers, and it works the same way as these assignments. So there's nothing new. The only difference is that I can attach Microsoft Form, so I need to prepare it before. Okay. So we have the class notebook, assignments, and grades, but we have also classic features that we can use inside Teams. So I can create channels to divide my discussion. I can create announcement channel. Yep. So I, as a teacher, can create announcements here to in this separate and this dedicated channel. And for announcements, there's also slightly enhanced announcement feature in Teams. I can go here and say week 1 starts on because I can add here and background. Select a dedicated background for my announcements and send it to my class. So it's a good idea, good maybe even a best practice to have a separate channel for announcements, not to spam a general channel with all information that we want to communicate with our students, but have dedicated place to share announcements with them. It's also a good idea to create channels for if it's a complicated subject, or we should divide it to, let's say, weeks. So we can create each channel. We can create channels for each week. So let's say week 1, week 2, week 3. And one more. So this is the basic structure for my algebra class. So it's week 1, week 2, week 3. I can post information about our materials here. What's in week 1, what in week 2, and what's more here. If I go to notes in this new channel, and I start with empty section, but I can add something here. I can add a page. Let's say week 1 information. That's good. I can create additional separate pages for these channels. But if I go back to my general channel and to my class notebook and see all of my pages, so inside my collaboration space, you can see that there's new section, week 1 notes. So so if I go to any specific channel and click notes, it will automatically create a new section in my main class notebook. That's very powerful and very helpful, because I don't need to do anything manually, and I have only one source of truth. So my class has only one main notebook, nothing more. Collaboration space. Yeah, week 1 notes, week 2 notes, and etc. So if I don't need to gather additional information through the channels, through the team. That's only one file, and it's much easier to work with it. Okay, so what next? I create a basic structure for my students. I invited them. I created a class notebook with information. I prepared assignments for entire month or two. I can use grades feature to use to verify their assignments. But how to communicate with them? How to talk with students, send them information? We can use regular Teams feature for this. So we have in each channel has dedicated place for discussion. So in week 1, I can talk about and send them information. They can send me some thoughts, ideas, or share problems. There's also a classic regular chat functionalities, so I can go and talk directly with Terry or with my group of my students, because I can add additional student here. Say William tag William. Okay, add. So I can use this chat functionality to connect with them individually or talk to my entire class with using the chat channels chat function feature. But I can also schedule and create and use the meeting functionality. To do this, I can go to my calendar. I can use Outlook or use it from the Teams directly, and I can schedule a meeting. So let's say Algebra 3, week 1, let's say meeting. So I can add my students, say 30, and others I don't need to do that, but I tested on my this test account, and I can schedule a time. It can be repeat every day, every work, every week, but I can also add a channel, and I would like to do this in Algebra 3 week 1 and send it. Okay, where's my meeting? Yeah, if I go to my channel, to my Algebra 3 week 1 channel, there's a meeting, classic meeting, the same as we talk currently. So I can go here and join. Continue without audio because I don't have any. And I, as a Terry, as a student, I can also go and, using the chat, the connection between meetings and chat is very useful because students can go and join the meetings directly from the channel. So I don't need to my calendar or check what text. I can go and click here and join directly from my channel. And inside this meeting, we can use regular Teams functionalities. So we can share. I can share my screen. I can share my application. I can also, use whiteboard. It's a great feature to draw something, to use it as a classic whiteboard. Yes. So I can draw something. I don't know. can't draw, so it won't look good. So I can draw something, and those pictures can be exported as images, so I can save it to and upload it to my class team or to my class channel. I can also talk using chat, and this chat is persistent, so it will stay after the meeting. So my students can I can go back to that chat and ask additional questions or respond to my question, etc. And I can also invite, because it's an online meeting, so I can use a functionality that allows me to invite external people. Let's say I need to invite some external teacher for my class, for my specific meeting, so I can do this. This is also very important if I want to invite parents, because I can create a dedicated team for parents and invite all of the parents to teams, and we can discuss inside that team or that channel about class, about subjects, homeworks, etc. So that's very, very powerful and very, very useful to have possibility to invite external users. And they don't need to have any additional licenses. They can use a simple web browser, and that's all. But I can also record a meeting. If I record a meeting, it will be stored in Microsoft Stream, and that's an additional feature that I recommend to use for education purposes, because we can create. I will start and record something. So I can record a meeting, a class that I explain some topic, and it will be available for all of my students later to prepare for exam, to learn it, to watch it again. That's very, very useful. Or to maybe next class or next year, I can check what we did on that meeting, on that class. Okay, I can stop the recording. Okay, and if I leave the meeting, because I don't. Okay, it's stopped and it will be available on Microsoft Stream. But if I go to my stream, okay, Office. Because Stream is a first place that our recordings are stored, but that's not only the feature here. We can use Stream as our multimedia library. We can store here videos about subject, about topics, etc. We can divide them into channels. So I can create channel, let's say, Algebra 3. Yeah, it's company-wide, so I can add some picture. And here I can upload videos for my students. So I can prepare videos before, or I can record them using the Teams meetings capabilities or additional software, or if I have a digital library with videos, I can upload it here. But that's not all, because if I go to my channels, and that's algebra, yep. So I uploaded here one video about algebra, and I can go here. Disable, yeah, voice. I muted it. So there's a great feature, but it's only available for English and Spanish. So it's closed captions. So it automatically, analyze the video and create closed captions. So I can read the text, but I can also search through these closed captions. So let's say search. So it will shows me the entire list where the specific word appears, and here or here. So I can simply go and jump to that specific point of time. That's very useful, but limitation is it works only with English and Spanish. So unfortunately not in French and not to say any other languages. But I hope it will be added anytime soon, I hope, because it's very powerful, and you don't need to scroll the video and search where's your required material or topic or subject. Simply use the search functionality. So I can go and upload my digital video library here, but I don't need to force my students to go here and search, because I can use this Teams functionality to embed a stream. So I can go here. It was one, tab name, videos, and save, and it will automatically embed all of my videos from this specific channel. So I don't need to go to stream page and search on stream. I can go directly to my team, class team, select the algebra videos, and watch it directly from my team's class. So that's very handy, very useful if you want to put everything we want for our class inside one place. So that's the stream. You can also, if I close this, we can also, of course, go back to Microsoft Stream page, but for students, it's very, very useful to use it from here, not to jump between pages, etc. So that's the main features I would like to show you. As you can see, there's this is my entire environment for education, tests and presentations. So there's a lot of classes. Each class has a different layout, different tabs, channels. So we can easily create a team, a class that we really need. We don't need to use full features or all features from Teams. We can go and create our algebra class with features that we need. We can, of course, I suggest to use the class notebook because it's one of the most powerful features here. You can use assignments or grades. Stream as a place for videos, but you can also go here and search or add additional features. You can add a website with your dedicated system for education for students, some internet libraries, or simply page with information about that class, because we can add here. We have a lot of dedicated applications for Teams and for education. Dedicated strictly for education is also a free grid. It's I know that's very popular in the US, but so it's that's why this app is here. But you can go here and search if there is you can find the app that you use for class or would like to use for class. Okay, so let's go back to my slides. There's the quick review about that OneNote. So we have a dedicated templates for OneNotes with roles and permissions. That's very important. And you can distribute page and sections and review students' work. That's very easy and very useful. For assignments, grades, we have a dedicated application for assignments. And assignments are assigned per class. So, and of course, each student can see only their own assignments. For communication, as I show you, that's personal chat, channel chat, and meetings. That's the most popular and commonly used features. Stream for recordings, but I suggest also to use it like a store for videos because it's very powerful. And I know many teachers that use it. They don't record any session, they simply create a lot of videos at home and share it using Stream. Oh, that was my demo, of course. So as a quick summary, now for education, we don't use regular themes. We have a dedicated edition for education, and this edition has dedicated templates for class, for PLC and stuff. So it's dedicated templates. We don't need to configure manually these assignments, grades, or create automation for OneNote. No, we have it out of the box. It's also very flexible because I can create channels or tabs that I need. I don't need to use all of them or create additional, using code or something. So communication, as you know, this is the core in Teams. So we have full communication features, text, video, audio, and online meetings, and with internal or external users. We have also this enhanced OneNote. For me, it's a killer feature because really it's changed a lot. You can use it as one place for sharing materials and gathering materials or information from students. And it's also very extendable because you can add additional applications for Teams, but you can also create your own application. That's the topic for additional session or even a two. Okay, so that's all from my side. Thank you everyone to attend my session. If you have any question, put it on chat. If not, thank you very much. And
thank you, Marcin. It was a very, very great session. From my point of view, I learned a lot because I'm not used to Teams education. So if anyone can take time to fill the forms, you can find on tabs on this current channel. Don't hesitate. It will help us to improve session in the future, and it will help the speakers to learn about your feedback. Also, you can reach speakers and other attendees on the Cafe channel. And don't hesitate to ask questions on the chat or to use your own voice if you want. Thank you, everyone. And if there is no question, I will close the recording.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you again.
Okay, so I don't know if you understand or can read the French, but no, Stephanie here just said that in stream the translate seems working in French.
Okay, and, so that's something new.
Mm-hmm. And another feedback, very clear, no question from Stephanie as well.
Okay, good.
Okay, so if it's okay for you, I will close the recording now. You can still reach Marcin, and Marcin, I don't know if you plan to go to Coffee channel. But
I will be in Coffee because I have an additional session
within
nice. 2 hours.